we are going to discuss is the database management system. So what is meant by data? Any idea about data? What is meant by data? Yes, very good. Collection of facts, right? So data means collection of facts, right? So it may be numbers, it may be words, it may be measurements, it may be observations, right? So everything is data, right? So data, when you access the data in the form of numbers, right? You have numbers, then you have sentences, and then you have some measurements, right? The meter, centimeter, then weight like kilogram, then gram, like that. Then observation. So observation in the sense, what is the sensory organs? You have your eye to watch something, you have your ear that will hear something. So it will go to brain will process and will do actions, right? So sensory organs will collect or observe a lot of data. And the sensory equipments, right? Even sensory equipments will gather data, right? For example, if you have CCTV, what it does, it will just observe, it will record what's happening in the environment. So these kind of things, if you have GPS, what it will do? It will access the location. So you will get the data, right? So the collection of data or collection of facts will form information, right? So the collection of data will form information. So what you will do with by means of this information? So you have certain data which you are getting by means of your sensory organs or sensor devices, and you have some numbers, you have some words, you have some sentences, you have some measurements. So all these things are available, right? So what you will do by means of this information? What you will do? You will store it in any device. So this data may be in different formats, right? So data, in the sense, data you will write in the note, or otherwise you have some digital data, right? So nowadays you have different type of data, right? What you have the web data. So if you go to internet, so data is like that by means of your website, by means of your browser, internet, you are getting a lot of data, right? This is called web data. And you have digital data. So digital data means whatever data is available that you are typing, right? Typing in the Microsoft Word or PDF format, whatever it may be, you are just storing it. It's a digital data. Again, web data is also a digital data. And you have the physical data, right? So what is the physical data? So you have some, you will just open the note, you will write something, right? You will scribble something. So it will be data. So why we have to maintain all these type of data? What is the purpose of maintaining these type of data? So everywhere there is data, right? So what is the purpose of making this data? Creating the data. You want to know something, right? You want to process something. For example, this is a classroom. So you have your own data, right? Your name, then your age, then which school you have studied. So this is a university or a college. So you are the students, I am the staff member here, and we are having the infrastructure management, and you are the students who are coming here. So these are the stakeholders of the college. So you have your own data, right? Your name, your registered number, then your age, so your address, your +2 mark, and we have our own data that which department we belong to, what is our degree, what is our specialization. So what is the need for keeping all these data? Because we want to process the data, right? We want to process the data. So what is the reason for processing the data? So we have to process to make some decisions, right? So decision making. So whenever we talk about data, as a computer science student, we generally study different subjects to deal with this data. So anyway, the data is an integral part of the computer science department. It is an integral part of the world itself. So the first thing, the subject you have studied is data structures. We have studied the data structures, where you have read about how the data is stored in the computer, right? The pattern in which the data is stored. So you have studied about the stack, you have studied about the queues, and you have studied about the list, the trees, of this, all those stuff. So this is the pattern in which the data is stored inside the computer. In the fourth semester, you have read about the data structures and algorithms, right? So it deals with the algorithms, how to access those data. In the fifth semester, you will study database management system, and this generally gives some of the programming language to access the store the data. Fifth semester. Then after that, you will study a subject called data mining and data warehousing. So mining, what is the mining? We're excavating something out. Right? This is called mining. So to take something out or mine something out, the thing is that we are going to deal with the subject data mining and data warehouse. So what is a warehouse? Warehouse is a place in which your goods are stored. Like that data warehouse in which it is a warehouse, it is a repository where the data will be stored in a huge quantity, right? Not in a small quantity, huge quantity. So data warehouse. So these kind of techniques and concepts you will study in the subject called data warehousing and data mining. And after that, the latest technologies will come inside. You will study about the big data. Whether you hear the name called big data, you have hear the name about the data analytics, big data analytics. People will talk about analytics, right? So what is something analytics? So by means of this all this big data, by means of this information, you can access those data. And by accessing those data, we have to take some decisions, right? So this is called big data analytics. So nowadays, people are we have more opportunity in the data-related jobs. Right? So what is the when you see the job market? So people always ask for the data scientist, right? Data scientists, people with data science as their major, people of data science major, data engineering, data scientists, data architects. So companies require these kind of people to solve the problem, and give IT solutions for the company whoever required. So this is the pathway of the data. So and also when we talk about data, the thing is that if you are going for any reservations, right, travel, so you will travel by bus, you will travel by airways, you will travel by trains. So highways have the reservations for the ticketing systems. So whenever we interact with the online mode, we will be interacting with the bank. Right? So any reservation, any travel, there is a data. Right? So you need people need data. Any universities or any college, people need data. Right? So and the thing is that whenever you go to any university, whenever you go to any university, whenever you go to any business, whatever, everything is linked with the bank. So because money, right? Transactions is done through bank. So bank means uncertainty, right? Bank means completely data. You have credit card, you have debit card, you have website. You do mobile banking, you do net banking, you do credit card banking, then you do like digital banking, like the Paytm, phone pay, all this stuff, the digital currency, even talk about cryptocurrency. So everything is data, right? So banking transactions, you have many data. Universities and colleges have many data. But you as a person have many data, right? So what are the data you have? Your name, like your birth certificate, then your community certificate, then your test mark, your 12th mark, your schooling mark, then you have the PAN card, you have the Aadhaar card, right? You may have the bank account, your bank account is linked with the PAN card, your PAN card is linked with the Aadhaar card, your Aadhaar card is linked with the voter ID, right? So a single person is having this much of data. So this country is having 135 crore population. Right? Before you completely indicate that the population is up to 145 crore. Right? So everywhere is data. Even I know that most of the people will find difficulty managing the data. Data category period, right? So how can we manage 135 population? That too, this country is going to have 500 crore population, and also this 500 crore population, 500 transactions, right? So everything is data. So we need a system, right? We need a system to manage these kind of data. So that's why we are studying the database management system. Right? So I told about what is big data and what is big information and what is the importance of data. So what is DBMS? So DBMS is database management system. So in the database management system, what we are doing is that what generally it gives information is that you will have a specific language called structural query language, right? So in this case, what happens? The data are stored in a repository, that is a database. From that database, that the data is correlated to each other, interrelated to each other. And we have usually the data models like object-oriented data model, hierarchical data model, and relational data model. And we have these kind of different data models already. In the case of database management system subject, we are going to deal with relational data model. So when we talk about relational data model, the data is stored in the form of table, right? So you have tables, you know about tables. So tables generally have rows and columns. For example, the Excel, MS Excel, right? So whenever you go to, if you store any data, your data are stored in MS Excel. So the thing is that if you go to Excel, then you have the rows, you have the columns, right? Columns will show the attributes and rows will show the specific record. So everything will store in the form of tables, rows and columns, right? So in this case, in database management system, what we are going to do is that we will store all the data in the form of tables, right? So why we are going, because you can access the data. It means that why we are going for DB numbers is that in the traditional file system. So what is the disadvantage of traditional file system? So traditional file system. If you go to government offices, if you want to access some data, they will have a bunch of, I'm talking about 10 years dedicated. So whatever they have, even if you go to some registration office, they have big numbers, they have to take. The thing is that it is vulnerable. It is vulnerable for disaster. So if there is some fire accident, if there is some earthquake, water, data will be. But nowadays, what people are doing, people are just making entry in the computer. That computer, generally, a decade before what happens, these data are stored in the hard disk, right? The people feel that that particular data is also unsafe. We want to take that out. So what generally people will do? People will copy. I generally do. Right? Whatever to be, I will store something in the computer. Then in the midnight, I will have something. Suppose my laptop is gone, somebody took my laptop out, or if my laptop will have a hardware failure, what will happen? All the data will be gone. So my instinct says that I will buy external hard disk. So I bought external hard disk, big hard disk, then I store the data, nothing. Important data, only movies. So Word document will not go in the external hard disk. So the thing is that I store the external hard disk. So then what happened? Even the external hard disk is also susceptible to the failure, right? So again I thought, yes, I have to store it in the server, right? Server is a big system where you store all the data, right, for backup, right? So after that, what happened? Even I have another thinking. Suppose if there is a fire accident in a particular data center, what will happen? Companies, my data is not an important data, but if you are corporate, you are organization, defense organization, right? They are dealing with important data. So your data must be secure, your data must be safe, right? So what happens? Then people start to explore into the new technology called cloud. So that is the emergence of cloud computing. So what happens? So your data will be, that cloud computing will have multiple packages, right? If you don't know the data, you are a front user, right? As a user, you know only login and you have password and you store the data, right? That is the information which is enough for the users, right? But as a cloud architect, what you will do? If you become a cloud architect, what you will do? Multiple backups, right? Your backup will be different, right? Your server may be in US, your server may be in Canada, your server may be in UK, European countries. You don't know, right? Your local server may be in India. You don't know that. Right? So what happens? So cloud computing, they pay, right? So the only thing you have to do is that you have to pay something, right? Pay something, you use an annual subscription, quarterly pay. Then if you give the subscription, data is safe. If you have any problem, you can contact the company, the customer care, they will just troubleshoot. But absolutely. So whether you need any pen drive or hard disk to plug in and plug out your data, is there any necessary at this point of time? No need, right? Just to have the account, virtual account, virtual account you can just put in your money, put in your data, whatever it may be. Then wherever you go, either here or either abroad, either you are traveling in an aeroplane, it doesn't matter. Just take a phone, connect to the internet. Your Elon Musk is going to provide satellite internet within next year, I believe, right? So broadband internet wireless internet came, satellite internet become next year. So what happened? Wherever you even if you go untapped here, we have to just go satellite, like tower level பிரச்சனையே வராது. So there you go. So login, access the data. So our life becomes pretty simple. So these are some of the concepts of data and database. Thank you.